Yeah! Bang, 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 boom! Them type of things. Right? Them type of things. So, you know what I come to?
So it's an honor to be here.
Pleasure, my brother.
It's an honor to be here with you, man. MX Prime.
Yes, sir.
I mean, yeah. Name has gone through different transitions over time.
Yes, yes.
And I guess that would be part of the evolution.
Yep. And the growth and the different stages of my life in music.
One of the things that really impressed me with you as an artist is that at a very young age, you went to Jamaica to do the dancehall thing.
Yep.
And to me, that positions you as a pioneer because we have always had local artists that would do dancehall, right? General Grant, we could call names.
Yeah.
But you went to Jamaica to do dancehall for a bit.
Heading to Jamaica at the age of 18 was a great privilege for me as a Trinidadian artist, young artist, fairly new on the scene. And credit must go to Question Mark Entertainment, Simon Batiste, Carolyn Page, and the team for building relations with artists such as Red Rat, General Degree, Hawkeye, all those artists back in the day who were, topping the charts in Jamaica in the late 90s. And a lot of them came to Trinidad and Tobago for shows. So we felt that, at that time, I was in a group called Tribe with Precious, Diamond Cut, Superchild, Jason Lee, Jungle, who sang Rolling Back with KMC. So we were a nice little team that was doing crossover songs, much like how the Fugees were. And it so happened that we used to open a lot of reggae concerts. And when the R&B artists, the foreign artists came in, international artists came in, that was our role to open for them. And it gave us a lot of experience. I remember the first show I did, it was Fugees and Supercat. I just turned 18 and, it was a great opportunity for me to perform for such a large audience.
On that stage?
Yeah. So when for the people who will be watching this, they must understand that I didn't start off where they know me. I started off actually in the whole dancehall arena, and the DJ culture, was always in me. That particular vibes was always in me.
I know that, and I'm sure a lot of people may not know that.
Yeah.
Right, that MX actually went at the age of 18 to Jamaica, worked in the studios. Give us a little info about that Jamaican experience.
Well, that Jamaican experience was an eye opener for me, right? It was also a time that wasn't like now, where you could pick up your phone and call anybody anywhere across the world, where you could FaceTime with people, right? The internet was fairly new. Roaming was the thing back in those days, and it was extremely expensive. And you felt like you were cut off to a point from everybody else. So going to Jamaica as a teenager and not being able to pick up your phone and call home like how people could do it now and not miss a beat, it was different. And at times I felt quite lonely, but it was adventurous at the same time because when you're youthful, it's all about adventure. So being in the studio to see the likes of a Sprague Benz and a Mr. Vegas and Buccaneer and many of those other artists just come in and just vibes and just heal you out. Or you go to Studio 2000 with Steely and Clevie and you watch how they work, right? Which they complemented each other because one loved music loud and the other one was very clinical. He liked the frequencies to be right, dot the I's, cross the T's. And I always felt that I would have ended up doing music production as well. I didn't know it then, right? Because I was always interested in what was going on in the studio from a technical and a musical standpoint, opposed to just me being an artist coming to sing. I would hang around, watch the techniques, ask certain questions. So for me, it was much more than just going as an artist. But from an artistic point of view, it helped me because there were certain things that I needed to understand how badly those artists or how hard they work, right, to ensure that they stay on top or they get that break. You know, it's every day for them. And it's not just one
No, no,
studio.
no. When you say every day, these are guys who literally was getting up and going to studio
Every day. Every day. If they have to come from countryside to come to Kingston, they're doing it. Right? If they have to be there before the producer arrives, they're doing it. Um, they would go to different studios and voice songs or try to meet up with artists. Everybody's looking for it. Just like how football is in Brazil, that's how it is in Jamaica when it comes to the music. And the respect for musicians is paramount. So if you see a bandsman, a bassist, a trumpeter, right, they get total respect because they respect music in all forms. So for me, it was great to see that. I also went with Red Rat and General Degree into the housing scheme. And when those guys arrived, everyone came out and started blasting the music. I've never seen that before, right? So that was an eye opener. It's to show the level of patriotism that exists when it comes to their music and their culture. And, you know, I was glad to have that experience this early in my career. So the Jamaican experience was one that taught me that, hey, you gotta love your own too, right? As much as you're out here going in to try to do dancehall music, you gotta love your own too.
So coming out of that Jamaican experience, coming back to Trinidad, what would you say was your first mega hit? Because yes, it was opening and stuff, but it wasn't really a household name.
Nah,
And back then it was Magadan, right?
yeah. To
All right.
become a household name, whew, there's a lot of work, eh? There's a lot of consistency. So for me, it was only when I started to, and all credit must go to KMC, because KMC was the one who said to me while I was working on Frederick Street in a bookstore, come, let's go to the studio and let's do what we do with dancehall in the carnival. I bet you we're going to mash up the place. I bet you there's not going to be anybody like us. And in those days, opening, I would see Bungie Garland. Bungie Garland used to open reggae shows with us as well. Tear it up. First time I saw Bungie, I knew he was going to be a legend. You could just smell it. You could sense it. He had everything that a legend in the making had, you know? And of course, we always used to meet up and talk a little bit. And when I went to Jamaica and came back, he said, bro, I'm real proud of you know, to the point that he has recorded more songs in Jamaica than I am, you know, career-wise. So it's always good to see everyone's growth and development. But it is only when I decided to venture into the raga soca vein, which is more or less where people in Trinidad and Tobago, that's where they pay attention. So if we're doing dancehall at that time, you know, only those who go into the reggae shows, who are the blockos all over, Diego Martin, the Greens, Belmont, downtown on the promenade, they would know that, hey, this guy is a chanter, this guy, you know, is into dancehall, right? But other than that, carnival masses, they will pay attention to you when you're in their space. So it's only when I was encouraged to be a part of that world, that is when I started to make traction, you know, in people's households, so to speak. I did voodoo, Obiamano, the voodoo rhythm, which was KMC's rhythm that he had, and it was played probably by accident or by design. And when I heard it, I said, bro, this rhythm has a kind of Obia. He said, I'm going to call it rhythm the voodoo. It's about always showing what have you added to your arsenal. What different? What's different? And that's why through the Magadan era, right, would have been a particular type of vibe. A lot of great things came out of that era. Then the Maximus Dan period, that's where major success took place. So I always knew that I would my journey in music would always be long and winding like a roller coaster ride because I've built different. I am not ashamed to say that. I'm built different. I'm not in it just to be on top of the stage, to be the belle of the ball, right? Or the stand top of the Christmas tree. That's your thing, that's your thing. But I don't mind being in the background. I don't mind feeling out of place or a misfit. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be. I'm here because I want to be here. I went into radio, right? And that wasn't even me forcing myself into radio. That's me being late for an interview. And then I was put on a ship. And then Kevin Baker said, no, MX Prime is going to read our script when we get back. And I said, Baker, what are you trying to do, man? I can't read the people on them script. What if I make a mistake? He said, people make mistakes all the time. He said, but try it. And when I read the script, he handed me another script. And before 2 hours elapsed, because I was liming, the manager, which is Glenn Howard, walked in and said, how you sounding like? I say, stop. How you looking like you want to offer me a job? And that's how I ended up on radio. So it wasn't something that I ran to because my career is in hiatus or whatever. I just ended up there and the opportunity knocked and I pounced on it.
You, or I should say your voice, is one of the most popular voices out there. So for people who may not know what we're talking about what they call drops.
Yeah, DJ drops, sound effects, even party commercials. I've been doing that for the past 15 years or more. And again, this is me going in the booth. I was at 96.1. And while in the booth, there was a script laying around, and I was just warming up my voice. And then when I looked out the glass, through the glass, people looking at me like, yo, you could do this.
And for people who are not sure what we're talking about when we say DJ drops, this is what it sounds like.
Well, yeah, bang, 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 boom, them type of things, right? Them type of things. So you know what I come to.
One of my memorable experiences in Soca Malawi was during one of your performances.
Are you ready for this? War, 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 brutal, war. Ready there, everybody jump and say, stop the soul war, stop the soul war, for the name of skip war, for the name of skip war, stop the soul Stop the soul war, for the name of skip war, for the name of skip war. They're gonna run to the east, and they're bloody police. They're gonna run to the west, so they meet up with death. They're gonna run to the north, let the murder get caught. They're gonna run to the south, throw the all of them out. Hey, I got the Sudan wall, enemy for skin power, enemy for skin power. I got the Sudan, enemy for skin power. Yeah!
I distinctly remembered you all mash up the place. And at the end of your performance, you use a clip from the movie Gladiator.
Yeah.
And the entire crowd, and this is what made it memorable. Your performance was good and energetic,
Yeah.
But at the end, when you just stuck
What
and
you
you
leave with.
open your hands out, and the crowd, you didn't need to encourage them. Everybody just started singing Maximus, and you just felt a different energy inside of you.
I take credit for that because when I went to Toronto, I went to Toronto for one day. And in that one day, I went to see the Gladiator. So I had a show to do. But before, I went to one of those cinema complex and watched the Gladiator. And I said to my manager, when I came out, I said, I'm no longer Magadan. I am Maximus that. I said, because the name, the meaning of Maximus is greatest, right? Or greatness, right? Depending on how it's translated. And everyone has greatness within them. So I think that's my new name. And of course, they look at me and smile like, yeah, buddy, everybody know he has Magada. But it's what you do to immortalize your name. You can be called anything. As long as you're able to put in the work or the performance and the marketing strategy and the antics and gimmicks and all these different things to make that name, especially in entertainment, mean something.
You on the stage hearing people singing your stage name like that. What is that like for an artist? How did you? I mean,
I'll
for
tell you
me,
how
it
it is.
was amazing
I'll
for
tell you how
your
it is for
words.
me.
But talk to me about you. But any moment,
Tell it for me, I might disappoint you, It's just cool.
no, I want you to.
It's
It's
just
what
cool.
you
It's,
feel.
it's
If it
just
is just
it's
cool,
just cool. Just cool. Because I don't do this for praises. I don't do this to look good. I don't do this to get an extra 1,000 followers.
so the matter.
I don't do this for that.
I'm asking you first. I cook. You love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, if people enjoy your food,
Mm-hmm.
it matters.
It does.
As a performer, when you go over there and you get what we call forward,
Mm-hmm.
people calling you back. You walk off stage, and it's hard for the person to follow you because
Yeah.
they're still chanting your name or the song you were singing.
I don't live on that high.
Asking is, how does it feel when you know people enjoy your food? They enjoy your work because it's
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
It
I'm
took.
always grateful to the people for, understanding that you work hard and you came out to give them their money's worth, right? And you put in the time and the effort to make sure that they enjoy themselves. And of course, if you're walking out and people say, congratulations on a great show, that means more to me because on a personal level, someone took the time to walk up to you to say, great show, right? Well done. We admire you, right?
Converse a lot. So you perform, people there, and you leave. What that make it?
Job well done, right? Job well done. You did your job. Sometimes people stand up and look at you and you don't think you're getting any forward at all, but I have enough experience now. Back in the day when everybody wants to get hands in the air and whip a crowd into a frenzy, everybody wants that, right? It's that physical you looking for. But then there are times that you go to an event and people are listening. They're in chairs, a different setting. And sometimes you get them to stand up out of their chairs, which you feel good to see that, the music move them, the works move them. But for me, if you know me, I don't live on that high, right? I don't live on that high. That does not fuel me. What fuels me is knowing that God bless me with this talent and I'm going to try to get the best out of me all the time, not the best out of them, the best out of me. Because if I bring the best out of me, naturally, the best out of them more or less will come out.
You are a road march king, a road march champion at Trinidad.
Well, we are road match champions, the ultimate region.
We are indeed. You are, right?
Yes.
Ultimate reject.
Yes.
Talk to me about that song, about that journey, and about that season.
Well, in 2016, we were in this room here, we had a meeting, and we said, because of Carnival going to be at least 2 months, about 9 weeks or so, it's going to be a long time where we're going to be dormant because at the time, Ultimate Rejects, we had a podcast where we were just featuring electronic dance music because that is the direction that this group, we want to do world music and dance music, EDM stuff. We can't do that with our eyes closed. It's not bragging, it's not boasting. We have the personnel here to do that. And we said that, okay, that 2017 season may have involvement, because if you remember, had Bad Royal doing things with Voice, had Major Lazer doing something with Marshall. So we were saying, okay, we're more or less in that type of hybrid zone. Why don't we do some music, just promote the brand in that carnival space where most of the eyes and ears are going to be? What is the worst thing could happen, right? The first song we put out was Stage God, which was EDM and Juve, right? Went on well, was on its way up. And then when we put out Full Extreme, that eclipsed everything.
Boom. You are ha. So make way for the you. Make way for the R. Run, 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 run. Tell them I'm feeling good, like a new machine, like morning dew, fresh on the scene. Having a party to the full extreme, and light it up with gasoline.
Our aspiration was just to be in less than 10 events. Because when management asked us, so what do you guys want out of this? I said, well, all right, we want to be in this event, this event, this event. He said, that's 8 events. I said, yeah, we don't want to be all over the place. We just want to be in marquee arenas for people to hear the song. More happened than that. Much more. Based on the fact that we didn't ask for much. Our goal wasn't to be everywhere. Our goal wasn't to be road match champions. Our goal was just to showcase the versatility of the group, right? When people haven't seen me in a while, this is who I'm rolling. This is the brand that I am a part of. I'm the co-founder of Alternate Rejects along with Johan, right? And we felt that this is what we wanted to do. And the road march was a blessing. At the end of the day, the people appreciated the song for what it was. Very timely, right? Went viral all over the place. And it did what it did, and we are extremely grateful, especially for the support of the people in that particular year.
And that brings me to my next question. What is MX Prime doing now?
Last time I did an album was 2005. So this is the second studio album after a long time of not doing albums. And for me, it's going to be about joy. It's going to be about love. It's going to be about togetherness. It's going to be about music that you can listen all through the year. This is not going to be something that you want to hear when you're on the road Monday and Tuesday. This is going to be something you want to hear all year, right? There's a song on this album for everyone, right? Whether it be in the Caribbean diaspora, the Americas, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in Asia, Africa, my goal is to always live my life through my music, right? My musical journey, what I appreciate as an artist. What I listen to before I go and sleep at night, right, is what I wake up with in the morning, and it inspires me to say, okay, you may not do a song like this, but you draw inspiration from it. So many of the songs that people know in soca, that they consider hits from me, they don't know that some of them came from rock songs, some R&B songs, some roots rock reggae songs, from songs in the classical music. The ideas came from things that had nothing to do with calypso and soca.
Now, I know you're a musician. You're a musician, you're a producer, you're a music man. But we live in a world where it is difficult for people to not compartmentalize. Right. So if you had to tell people what kind of music it was, the genre that MX Prime is main thing, what would you say that?
Caribbean world. That's it.
Smile, I can stay for a while when I know you're near. I know I got to be there. So me I go package all the love and set. Package everything and set. Package all the love and set. Out heart and soul, no problem. Package, package, all me love and send. Package, package, everything and send. Package, package, all me love and send.